break anything. So, all right, we're good. What's everybody? What's everybody? What's up, everybody? We're back
Oh, get it. Spit it out.
to the new and improved layout of the Whistleblowers podcast. I'm sorry for last week; it was
Absolutely.
very, very shit quality. But today we get some better quality. If you're in the chat, just drop a hello, say what's up.
Absolutely. Welcome back to episode 2. Let's
Yeah.
get it going.
So we can get into a little Week 7 recap. I think. So I was at the Thursday night game for the Browns. God, it was a horrible
Electric.
game. It really was.
But it was electric. Hell of a game.
It was an electric atmosphere, but the game itself, pretty shit. It was pretty shit.
I mean,
17-14, Browns win, but nothing really happened. Obviously, story
but
behind the game: Dearness Johnson, 22 carries for 146 yards and a touchdown. It's pretty fucking
yeah, that
impressive.
man that man got himself a contract next year. Let's just
Probably.
say.
I mean,
I mean, the 2 games we've seen him with a lot of volume, he's just
yeah,
ate. So kind of reminds me of Alvin Kamara. Not gonna lie, me and a buddy were talking about it. Like he looks like Alvin Kamara, he runs like Alvin Kamara.
that's just because of dreads.
No, like the way he like and the arm tape helps, but like the way he runs the ball, he does look like Alvin Kamara. I don't think I'm crazy saying that, but
That's fair.
yeah, he looked good. He looked really good. But no, I mean that was probably the most excited I've been for a Browns game in years.
Really,
Truthfully,
really.
yes,
Is that just because
I
Baker
was
didn't play?
maybe I don't know.
Come on, Bob.
I don't know, but I was super excited for that game. So
Really? Uh,
yeah, endearing this.
yeah, I will say it was very impressive from Johnson. I mean, the Houston Texans are probably licking their chops right now. That's all I'm gonna say. Maybe
Tons
look
of
for the
Falcons.
little trade deadline. You know?
Falcon. There's plenty of teams. Falcons. So many teams that need running backs.
Yeah,
Chiefs. I
yeah.
wouldn't give them to the Chiefs, but yeah, there's so many teams that need that guy. But
I'm
what
gonna make a
else?
bold
What else did
statement
you?
right now. Clyde Edwards-Helaire sucks. Okay,
Oh,
Dearness Johnson on that team would be better than Clyde. I'm
mm,
making that bold statement right now.
what's the rationale? Can I ask? What the rationale
Clyde
behind it? Like
Clyde has not been impressive whatsoever in one of the league's best
how?
offenses. He has not been impressive whatsoever. Since he's came into the
Have you
league,
ever?
he's averaged what,
Listen,
like
listen,
three and a
listen,
half
listen,
yards a
listen, listen.
carry. You know,
It's entirely his fault. You think it's entirely his fault that they just don't use him?
I think
Travis,
he's
he's.
average. I think he's average at best.
I think he's better than you're giving him credit for. Is he a stud?
No,
No.
he's not at all.
Should he have been taken over J.K. Dobbins and Taylor? God no.
No.
But Jonathan Taylor is known, or excuse me, um, Clyde was coming out of college as a top tier pass catching back, and he has like 20
Now let me
receptions
ask you
in
this.
his
No,
career. It's stupid. Doesn't make any
let
sense.
me ask you this. Would you rather have Clyde Edwards-Helaire or DeAndre Swift?
Oh, DeAndre. Yeah, no, I forgot
Because
he was in the
what
draft
he
last
was
year.
taking
Yeah,
over,
no,
he was taking
DeAndre's.
over Swift too, right?
He's taking over everybody. He's the first running back off the
Exactly.
board.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I would rather have those three: Taylor, Swift,
I'm just
and
I would rather
Dobbins
have
over him.
Johnson.
But
I would rather have Dearness Johnson than Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
no,
I'm
come
telling you that.
on,
I'm telling you, I would.
come
I would.
on,
I just
stop.
don't think he's very good at all. The only reason he's even relevant for like, let's say fantasy purposes is because he's on the Chiefs. That's the only reason. It's the only reason whatsoever. You
You
put
can't
that
say the
dude.
man.
You
You
put
just
that
can't
dude on
flat
a
out say the
horrible
man is
team,
bad.
or you put that dude on an average team. He's getting
If you
700
put
yards a year.
anybody on an if you put anybody on an average team, they're not as good. You know what I mean?
I mean, look at Derrick Henry. I mean,
They have a great offensive line, and he's
I'll
a
give you that.
stud.
I'll give you that. But like I
He's
said,
a
Clyde
stud.
sucks. You put him on an average team, he sucks.
You can't. You're calling the Titans average? They just beat the Chiefs and the Bills. Blew them out. Blew out the
I mean,
Chiefs,
how impressive have the
who
Chiefs been this year, Bob?
they're
We're
not
gonna get
that
into
good,
that
but
a
they
little
still have the
later,
best.
but
Listen. They still have the best quarterback in football. They don't care what anyone says. Patrick Mahomes is still the best quarterback in football.
not
So
this
they're
year.
still a. Come on, he's still a great
He leads the
quarterback.
league in turnovers, Bob.
They blew him out, and then they beat the Bills somehow. Shouldn't have, but they did. Somehow did. That team is not average. They're better than people give them credit for.
I still think the Colts might win that division.
I do too. You know how I feel about that
Yeah,
boy. CW2, baby. He's back.
but again, we were talking about Johnson. Very impressive on Thursday night. Probably
Yeah.
single-handedly led the Browns to a win, along with the defense. Uh,
Case Keenum, baby. Did his job.
Case Keenum did his job. Okay, he didn't have any turnovers. He only threw for like what 190 yards or something.
Yeah, like
Touchdown.
just under 2.
Yeah, no turnovers. He almost had a couple though. It was pretty
It's all they
pretty
needed him
sketchy
to do.
throws. But
It was his first NFL start in like 3 years. No, 2.5 maybe. It was almost 3, I thought. Whenever he was with Washington was his last time he started. So
yeah, um, no, I agree. But
yeah,
other games around the league, you have any? Hey, that Baltimore and Ravens game, who called it? Just saying, who
we
called
were
it?
talking about that last week. We definitely liked
Yeah,
Cincinnati cover, and you said I like the upset, and I wasn't opposed to that pick at all. I mean, Joe Burrow looks so good right now.
he looks
Jamar
he
Chase,
looks
Jamar
solid.
Chase, Jamar Chase said to everyone, you know
Jamar
what I
Chase
mean?
said,
Just
"Screw you" to my fantasy team last week. So
he's so
I
good.
have a little bit of a salty spot right there.
He's
For
so
Jamar
good.
Chase,
But yeah, no, that was a good one. And then honestly, there was a lot of crappy games though this week. The only like the Monday night games sucked.
even the
The Saints
Sunday night game
offense.
sucked.
Sunday night game could have been better, but I mean the weather
It was
absolutely
terrible.
killed it.
Yeah, the weather was terrible.
Kudos to Carson Wentz though,
He did play
getting
good.
another
He
dub.
did play good.
Played
Michael
pretty
Pittman
good
Jr. is a stud.
in that weather. Michael Pittman is on the rise there in Indianapolis, and
Plus JT, top 5 back in the
oh
league.
yeah,
Top 5 back in the
he's
league.
generation. Just he'll be the best back in football in 2 years,
Yeah, I
probably.
I would put him up there in the top 3 within the next 2 years. That's what I would do.
I mean, depending on like Henry, if he obviously if Henry keeps his pace up, but in McCaffrey, like McCaffrey can't stay on the field the last 2-3 years.
McCaffrey, obviously McCaffrey's a very good fantasy running back. Okay, like he's the best
Sure.
fantasy running back in football. But has he ever really been the best running back in football?
No,
I don't think he
I
has
don't
been.
think so.
I really
And
don't.
same thing with Dalvin Cook. People regard Dalvin Cook
Same
like
thing. Yeah,
you
same
know,
thing. I would say like
they're great players.
even though he's not as fantasy relevant, I would say Nick Chubb is better than both those players. Okay, as a pure running back, I would say he's better than those two players.
It's tough because he doesn't catch the ball.
But when he does though in the screen game, he's very effective.
Well, sure, anybody going behind that line is going to be effective.
And also,
You put my dead grandma behind that line, and she's going to get 3 yards carry. I mean,
but he was also good the one year that Baker was leading the lead in sacked, like the amount of times he got sacked, and Nick Chubb was still amazing. He ran for over almost 1,000 yards.
I will say Nick Chubb had that sick catch a few years ago. I think it was against Cincy, one hand in the end zone. I think it was like his second career touchdown.
He was the one that
sick.
sealed the game against Pittsburgh with the 50-yard screen pass.
Yeah, but he's at the end of the day, like he's nowhere near the pass catching capability of those two guys.
No,
still.
Obviously
so
not. But I'm saying as a pure
runner, if we're just saying as a pure runner, Nick Chubb's right there with
top
Henry.
3.
But,
I would say top 3. Yeah, absolutely.
But other than that, I mean, it's just tough. I love Nick Chubb. He's a good guy.
Good guy, Nick.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right. Well, you got the news and notes pulled up from around the league as far as injuries and stuff like that.
I don't.
Oh my gosh, I gotta pull it up now. Jeez.
I mean, I guess some big ones though going into the week. Like AB's probably gonna sit out again, which.
Well, how about we start with the Thursday night football game? Obviously, Devontae Adams.
Oh, huge.
Probably he's expected to miss. He can still technically. He has a chance to play, but he has to get 2 positive or 2 negative tests for COVID before he can play.
We don't want positive.
Same with Allen Lazard. I mean, it's looking like
Randall Cobb show.
Have to have a hell of a game to.
It's looking like the Randall Cobb show.
Aaron
Jones. A lot of Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon. I kind of like Green Bay going into this game, and then obviously like the Adams.
I like Green Bay with the points. I will say that. I think they're getting like 5.5. I would take Green Bay's points. I
like that number. Like I still like him to keep it close, but Arizona's defense has actually been pretty solid this year.
So is Green Bay's though. That's the thing. They've been pretty solid this year too.
I like the guy now. JJ Watt's out, I think though too. So
is he really?
I don't know how much of a difference that's gonna make, but. It should just be a hell of a game. Kyler Murray probably.
We got 2 MVP candidates in this game, so.
And Murray's probably the favorite. I don't know, dude. You could just pick one, but Murray's probably the favorite. He's got a buttload of weapons, two solid running backs. I like the Cardinals a lot.
I'm gonna take the Packers with the points. I believe too much in Aaron
I
Rodgers.
mean, I wouldn't.
I really do. But
Rodgers has
I
been
think it's gonna be
playing
a good
like
game to
pissed
watch.
off.
Finally, we get a good Thursday game.
Yeah, he's been playing like pissed off Rodgers last few weeks, and he's looked good. When he's playing like crybaby Aaron, last dance Aaron, like week 1, stinker.
That was bad.
But yeah, I do like Green Bay to possibly cover this week. I think it should just be a good game. Finally, we haven't had one since probably week 3.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, other news. I feel bad for this guy, but going back to New York is Joe Flacco getting traded for like a 5th round pick, or a conditional 5th round pick.
Yeah,
dude, he got out of the Jets, and he has to go back.
The Dave Portnoy video is so funny.
I know.
They post. I think that was from like 2012 or something.
It was an old video.
Like when Baltimore beat the Patriots to go like Super Bowl or something. But video is so funny.
Dude, I feel so bad for Flacco. He has to go back into that
absolute
shit show.
He's old. Who cares? You know, like,
is he gonna play this week, or are they gonna start that other dude?
It's probably gonna be Mike White. No.
Mike White.
He came in, dude. He threw that touchdown though, and his first or second run.
Yeah, Zach Wilson's thrown a couple touchdowns too. He's also thrown something like 9 picks.
Hey, hopefully Zach Wilson gets back healthy soon. Comes back.
Yeah.
Starts lighting him up a little bit. That team is still a dumpster fire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the Jaguars over them.
Over the Jets?
Yeah. I don't think the Jags are the worst team.
I don't know. I would not want to watch that game if it actually happens. So it's hard to take a team there.
It probably is happening. No, I think that game probably is happening this year now.
I mean, speaking of which, there's another couple of just horrible games this
stinker
week to
games.
watch. Like, I mean, we got the Panthers and Falcons. Nobody wants to watch that at all.
Shootout. If it's a shootout, I'm not complaining.
Yeah, but still, like, nobody wants to watch that. And then the Eagles and Lions.
Hey,
that should be terrible.
If they give me, if there's points, I'm all in. I'm all in for the points.
Yeah. So I had
a
tough Monday night though for fantasy. That was brutal.
Oh yeah, that game was so bad. Well, actually, Kamara carried me to a lot of wins, but
so little backstory. Going into the game in my main league, I have DK Metcalf and the Saints defense. I need a combined 35 points from them, okay? And we get yardage bonuses.
Wait, you had DK versus your defense, though?
How did that happen? I mean, the Saints defense got 14 points. Like, they didn't do horrible.
Yeah, they didn't give up too many.
Anyway, I had both of them. They needed combined for 35 points. Okay. Very first play of the game from scrimmage or something, it was close from Seattle. 84-yard bomb to DK Metcalf. Touchdown.
Right.
I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, and we get yardage bonuses too. So like at 100 yards, we get plus 4 points, right? Then Geno Smith happens, and he doesn't even get targeted until the 4th quarter.
Yeah,
because Geno Smith throws for 80 yards the rest of the game. He threw for less yards the rest of the game than he did on one play in the 1st quarter. God, give me back Russell Wilson. This guy sucks. He's ruining my fantasy year. I'm actually furious about this, because the Saints defense got 14 points. The last drive, I had a chance, right? So I was down like I think 5 points. If he would have caught a pass for 4 yards, I would have won.
Okay, but I was
I'm so pissed.
But here's the thing: if Geno Smith lit up your defense, wouldn't your defense have did bad though?
No.
Okay.
Because if DK Metcalf got all the touchdowns, then I would have canceled it out.
Here's what it is. It's 1 week. I do want to dive into this big matchup, huge matchup, 1 o'clock game in Cleveland this weekend.
Steelers week.
It is Steelers week.
Yeah.
Big game. Steelers coming off a bye, and everyone knows good coaches off byes generally are pretty dangerous.
Did you see that interview Mike Tomlin had the other day about the USC job?
Yeah, that was awesome though. Honestly, kudos to Tomlin. Hell of an interview.
I'll give him some
as much
credit.
Like I don't like the Steelers, but like I respect the hell out of Mike Tomlin. He's a great coach. He's never had a losing record. what a just get to the point. He's like, this is where I want to be. That was
You know,
awesome.
I will say though, it kind of sounded like somebody who was scared to lose their job.
To to who?
He
Who?
might get fired, dude.
What?
He, I'm just saying. There's been
Why
rumors
would
about him getting fired for the last couple of years.
why would they fire? He's a Super Bowl champion. Why would they fire him?
Because he
What?
was the one that vouched for Big Ben Roethlisberger to come back this year and pay him 35 or whatever 30
Who
million.
else? Okay, at the end of the day, who else were they getting this year? That was better. Who? I'd love to know.
I mean,
You can't fault
Darnold.
Big Ben.
Darnold.
I'd
Maybe.
come back. They weren't getting. Who said the Jets are trading with Steelers? They traded Darnold out of the AFC, got him in the NFC. Smart move by them. Panthers have been a super aggressive team. I mean, the last year,
They're
it's really.
are they the front
I mean,
runners
this.
to get Deshaun Watson now? Like
No. They came out today, so they don't want him.
really? What
Yeah,
about
they
the
said that they're not in the Deshaun Watson
what about the
sweepstakes.
Eagles?
It's probably either Philly or Miami if anything gets done. I know Howie Roseman. There's a report of Howie Roseman had someone do like he got a private investigator to go look into the Watson thing, and they still
Wow.
wanted to possibly make the trade. So maybe there's some promising news there. I don't want to dive into like the
It's a lot of
morals
what ifs.
behind
It's a lot of
everything,
what
but
ifs and
on a
theoreticals at this
straight
point.
in a straight football standpoint for Deshaun Watson right now, this is the lowest you'll be able to get him because the minute that he is cleared,
Oh yeah, they
he's
won
worth
3 first for him. Yeah,
he's probably worth five. I
yeah,
mean,
I would say so.
Jamal Adams is one for two. Khalil Max went for two.
Mac
DeAndre
went for three,
Hopkins
didn't
went
he?
for I think Mac went for two in a couple seconds and shit. But like, I'm sorry at the end of the day, for if you said give me Khalil Mack, Jamal Adams, and Johnny Hopkins, I'm just taking Deshaun Watson over all three of those based off
He's a
positional
quarterback,
value.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's not even a
And not only is he a
conversation.
quarterback, when he plays, he's a top five quarterback in
Exactly,
football.
that's what I'm saying.
So
He's a quarterback and he's top five at his position. I
he's
would take
phenomenal.
a quarterback
So the
over any of
fact,
those guys.
so like I can understand the justification of a team like Philly, who's he was cheap, and next thing you know, maybe he does get convicted, and you never use him. But is it really gonna hurt you in the long run? You're in a rebuild anyway, so I don't really know. Philly does have Miami's pick this year, so
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
I mean, if they were just to give up those two picks, even for Watson, that's a steal to
You
me.
know,
I don't know, but like if you're Philly,
Philly's in a weird spot, okay? Because
because like
Jalen
Jalen
Hurts
Hurts,
has not been the worst quarterback in the NFL this year. Okay,
no,
he
he
hasn't.
can't.
He's been putting up numbers, but he can't win. He can't seem to win the game. It seems like because they're what 2-4.
Like,
Like
yeah, they got annihilated by
I
the
will say,
Raiders last
if
week.
they lose this week to the Lions, Jalen Hurts looks like he might lose his job.
It's possible, and maybe they go to Minshew. I don't know, but it's like it's funny because Hurts just keeps putting up like big numbers, a lot of rushing touchdowns, a lot of rushing yards.
Yeah, it's
So,
getting
but
scary though.
he's like under 60% completion. Like he's not very accurate with the ball.
That's what I'm saying. He's completed what
But yeah,
I think it's like 57% of his passes or something.
yeah,
It's like the
it's
worst in the league or something.
it's not a good number.
Yeah.
But anyways, screw the crappy games. Dive back into the big game, the 1 o'clock game, Brown Steelers.
What are your thoughts?
Do we know who's starting? I don't really
Nick
think
Chubb
it matters.
and Jack Conklin are both expected to be back, so that's good
Those
news.
guys are supposed to be back, but is it going to be Case or Baker? Because he came out and said
He
today
said
that like
today that there's a
he might
strong
play,
possibility.
but like why? Like why come back? We don't need you right now. Get healthy. I mean, is he better than Case
I
Keenum? Yes,
I don't
obviously
know.
that's a given. But like Case Keenum can hold the fort down as long as Baker needs him to be out. Because truthfully, at the end of the day, I think in Baker's mind, he's thinking like to get paid, he has to play.
Yeah, that's true.
Truthfully. But like honestly, wouldn't it be almost more beneficial if he sat out longer? And maybe I mean, if his shoulder's so screwed up that he shouldn't even be playing football, why not sit out the rest of the year? This is a weak quarterback draft. Browns can pick up his 5th-year option, give him one more year, and then make a decision that way. It sucks like having to do that. Like obviously, if the option of like a Russell
I
Wilson or Rodgers came available, and you could get those guys, like sorry, Bake, we're bouncing off because these guys make us probably the best team in the league right now.
that
Then
is
you do
true.
it.
But
But
either one of those guys make us the instant Super Bowl favorites. I would say
yeah, I agree. Their roster's insane, insane.
Rodgers too.
No, our roster's insane
Oh, I
already.
thought you said Russ. I was like, you
No,
leaving
our
out Aaron
roster
Rodgers right there.
is
Like,
no, yeah, our roster is insane
no,
already.
but
But
specifically to this week
like
though,
I said, I
I
still
don't
think the
think
Browns
this
win. Like
I don't think this week really matters that much between Case and Baker. What I think matters in the Baker situation is I don't think Case Keenum can win us a playoff game. Okay.
I don't know if Baker does either though.
I
So
think
that's a
well
boat
because
you're in.
he did
You're
last year. Baker can win a playoff game. He's
yeah,
shown that. Okay.
maybe.
Case Keenum has gotten lucky in a
Here's the
playoff
thing.
game that he won.
Time out again. Time out again. Time out again. Time out again. The only reason the Browns won that game last year is because of the defense. Like I
Baker
don't know
threw for
why we
3
wanted.
touchdowns and 275 though. He didn't have a
Did you
bad
see
game.
Did you see the field possession he had the whole game?
But you
Like
still got to put the ball in the end zone.
you do, and when it helps when you're starting on the 25-yard line. I mean,
I'm not saying the defense
they
didn't play
started
great.
off.
The defense played
I mean,
fantastic. Okay, but
they started off the game with a snap over a all-time great center snaps the ball over Big Ben's head, who's 6'5". When the hell has that ever happened?
that was also funny because Big Ben
It was
acted like
crazy.
he didn't even want to pick it up.
Well, I don't blame him. I would have pissed. But and then he throws a pick. That was
that was
insane.
a bad pick right after that too. I forget who caught it.
So I mean, like this week, like I find like Baker doesn't make any difference in the game.
That's
I'm
what I'm
more
saying.
worried about
Like
guys
this week it doesn't matter between Baker and Case Keenum.
like Conklin coming back, making sure the secondary's healthy.
Nick Chubb coming back.
Anthony Walker stays healthy because I like Anthony Walker a lot. Hopefully the D line, like Clowney's, you know what I mean. He's a walking handicap chair half the time. Great when he plays. So I think, but I still think the Browns win. I mean, I think we're a 3-point favorite, which
yeah,
I like that.
3.5.
I like that number.
3.5.
I like that number for the Browns. I think they probably cover that number. It'll probably still be a low-scoring crap game again. So I don't know. I like the number at 3, like right at 3. It's probably fair. At home though, Dog Pound's gonna be jumping. Excited off the big Thursday night game. Yeah,
oh, okay.
we're home this week. I think they beat them.
Yeah, that is big actually. Is that the fact that we're home? Do you know what the weather's gonna be like?
I just know it's supposed to be cold. I know it might rain. I mean, it's supposed to rain a little bit like later on this week. I don't know up north though. I have no clue what it's looking like. But yeah. What about your prediction? Hear your prediction for that game.
Dude, I'm a homer. I'm gonna pick the Browns to win every single week. That's just the fact of the matter. Unless something like out of the blue happens really bad, you know. But
you were scared last week. You were scared last week.
You know, Case Keenum he weirded me out. I guess now that I've seen him play,
I don't know why. That's literally. Here's the thing. Like, if Baker coming out of college was literally Case Keenum. What's Case Keenum? Undersized, accurate throw of the football. Baker can throw a better deep ball. But like, there's not a huge difference in athleticism, mobility. Like, it's nothing drastic. It's not like it's this giant drop off of like Patrick Mahomes being hurt and then going to Chad Henne. Like, it's not like that.
Yeah. No,
but yeah, is there any other big X factors? But Pittsburgh defense.
Yeah, that's true.
That defense is good. X factor, we'll get into that later. As the start of the week, I do like the Pittsburgh receivers this week against our secondary.
Yeah,
but
like I said, I think we're gonna win. I think that locking down the Pittsburgh wide receivers is gonna be the key. To the game. Okay. Our corners.
Well, sure, their run game's horrible.
Our corners have been either really good this year or really dog shit. So. There's been no in between, honestly.
No.
And honestly, if you were to ask me right now, I would say that Greg Newsome is our best cornerback. 100%. I do not know if I'm re-signing Denzel. As of this point in time, I don't know if I'm re-signing Denzel.
It's tough. Come back to me at the end of the year. Come back to me at the end of the year on that one.
I would rather give Baker a contract than Denzel would right now.
I guess. I mean, that's like. I don't know. Come back to me at the end of the year.
Ward can't stay healthy.
Neither can Baker.
He was really good his rookie season. Questionable last year when he played. Questionable this year when he's played. Like, if you're gonna ask me who I want on Claypool or Johnson, it's Newsome. No question. He's played so much better this year.
You gotta put different. I mean, because Johnson plays mostly out of the slot, so
yeah. Probably Troy Hill's gonna be on him most of the game.
Troy Hill will probably be on him most of the game, and then Claypool tears us up. Yeah. Last year he tore us up 2 games.
I'm afraid about like Najee getting a huge screen pass.
I was gonna say Najee's gonna be more effective. like our linebackers, I think that's still our weakest unit. So like
Yeah,
Najee, like going up against our
I
linebackers, he's so explosive. Like Najee Harris is so good.
I will say
What smash home run pick by the Steelers. Good for them.
I will say the Browns defense has actually been very, very good against running backs this year. I think as far as fantasy points go, they're
Against the run.
yeah. So
Against the run.
uh,
Najee's been super effective in the
that's what
passing
I'm
game.
saying.
That's
So that's the reason I think he's going to be like involved in the game is through the
yeah,
passing
no,
schemes. Okay,
I
but
agree.
against the actual run, so I don't think the Browns are ever going to be like out of this game. Okay, if they
No,
lose this game, it's going to be a close game. Okay, because
I think
the
it's gonna be
Browns have
closer
been very
fight.
good against the run, which means they can't run the clock out. Okay, I mean, as much as it's like a
It's I
redundant stat,
truthfully
but
I think it should be a good game. It'll probably be low scoring. I mean, what's the points? Give me the under.
yeah,
but
yeah. If it's anywhere near 50, I'm taking the under. Jesus.
but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I like the Browns this week. What other big games we have this week? I'm trying to think.
What are the
Dallas that Sunday night game. I'm trying to think if there's any big 4 o'clock games. Big divisional game with the Colts and Titans. If you want
I think the
to dive into that a
primetime
little bit.
game is the Saints and Bucks on Sunday. If I have that
That's a four
correct.
o'clock. That is a
4
four
o'clock.
o'clock game.
Who's the
Yeah.
8:30?
Sunday night is Cowboys Vikings.
That's kind of a meh. I mean, the biggest game of the week's on Thursday this
Hey,
week.
that's two playoff teams. I don't care. At the end of the day, Vikings is a playoff team right now.
Yeah,
Season end of the day, the Vikings are in the playoffs.
that's
So
pretty terrible.
I
pretty
mean,
pretty horrible.
considering we're gonna have a Broncos Washington matchup and a Seahawks Jaguars matchup that I want nothing to do with. I think another good underrated game is gonna be that Titans Colts game, who they already played once this year. So revenge game for the Colts at home. I like Wentz to bounce back and I don't want to say light them up, but have a pretty damn good game against that weak Tennessee defense. I think that's my pick of the week, like Colts to
I think
win.
the Colts are going to win that game.
I do
really
too. Tennessee's coming off 2 big emotional wins.
Exactly. No one thought they were going to win both those games. They might sneak out one, but nobody
The
thought they
only
were
the
going
only
to
thing that sucks is like if the Colts played that game at like 4, no one cares. But because it was a primetime game, now there might be a lot of people on the Colts. I don't know. But Carson Wentz if he keeps playing like he's playing, he's only got 1 pick this year, a couple fumbles. Quarterbacks fumble all the time; they get rocked. It happens. But 1 pick, he's holding on to the ball. He's not turning the ball over. I'm not.
I mean,
I'm not
the
saying.
one
I'm not saying he's. I'm
he
not saying
he
he's
kind
back.
of threw a pick, but they ruled it a fumble. Like, did
Because
you
it was
see
a
that
fumble.
pass?
I mean, yeah, it was a fumble.
It
I
was,
don't.
I guess,
It was.
either way. Either way, it was a
I give him.
turnover and it was really bad. Let's put it that way.
I mean, I give him a pass. It was a monsoon, so I mean, it was ball slippery. Because honestly, the guy was open. If he was able to like flick it over linebanker's head and get it in the end zone, he probably scored a
Anytime
touchdown
my
there.
quarterback does anything like this, I
I,
don't really want to see my
I mean,
quarterback doing that. To be honest with you,
Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen do it all the
Patrick
time.
Mahomes has
So
been terrible this year. Bob, he's thrown 11 picks.
it's more than that, but I think he has 16 turnovers.
I think he has
Still best
11
quarterback.
picks, is what I'm saying.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. But Carson Wentz, I like Carson Wentz to have a good game. I like Michael Pittman to have a good game. I like the Colts. Colts. Let's go Wentz, baby.
So, new segment this week. We're gonna do some buy lows and sell highs for fantasy.
Oh God.
Yeah. So we'll start with the buy lows, and these are people like that aren't performing necessarily well, but you can get them for very cheap, and even if they don't pan out, you didn't really give up much. Okay.
So, is a gross pick just Brandon Ayuk?
He was gonna be one of mine, and he's on my team.
He's on mine too.
Like, dude,
So gross. But like he's so talented.
I think they might trade him.
No, why? They just drafted him in the second round last year.
They
Maybe
just
the first
drafted-
round pick.
They just drafted they look at Trey Sermon. Why the hell are they using Trey Sermon? I mean, Elijah Mitchell's been good, but he's not even like on the field.
Trey Sermon must have pissed off Kyle Shanahan. Probably
Brandon
like,
Ayuk must have pissed off Shanahan too, I guess.
I don't know. They're in the doghouse right now. That's what they were calling it, the Shanahan doghouse. I don't know, man. It's crazy. But it's like Brandon Ayuk. Like if you could, fuck, he's probably on your waiver wire.
He might be. He might be. I
I
mean,
mean, I've just been sitting on him because I'm hopeful
yeah,
that there's gonna be a day where that the talent is finally just gonna like pop a snap and he's gonna have a Brandon Ayuk game. So
I agree.
I don't know. But
Another one you can
what
bring
else?
up is Allen Robinson. There's a lot of trade
Oh,
talks on Allen Robinson.
drop him,
Okay,
drop
that's
him,
the only reason.
drop him,
That's the only reason that Allen Robinson should be even considered for a buy low, is because he
drop
can be
him.
traded. He's wanted out before this year. Okay, they franchise tagged him, didn't they? Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're probably not going to pay him just because he's underperformed so much this year, and he's going to want more money than he actually has. You know, I guess
Probably
deserved.
worth.
He's a good receiver. He's just getting screwed over by Matt Nagy right now.
Yeah, I did see Baltimore might be in the running for him, which would be
I've
kind
seen
of
the Giants
crazy.
too. The Giants are
That would
name
be
up there too.
weird. But like, what happens when the Giants are all healthy? Galladay, Robinson, Shepard, Tony,
I mean,
Slayton.
I'm taking Allen Robinson over any one of those guys.
Are you though?
Yes, yes.
I'm not paying that price. I already got a loaded wide receiver room.
I've
If
heard
I'm
the
digging,
Giants. I've
I'm not
heard.
doing that. Ravens was one of the ones I heard. Ravens and Packers. Actually, oddly enough,
Packers.
I don't.
That'd
That
be
would be
insane.
strange. Yeah.
If he goes to the Packers, he's the ultimate buy low candidate right there.
Yeah, I mean, they'd finally have a wide receiver too that could possibly put him over the top, get to the Super Bowl finally. But
As far as QB buy lows go, I mean,
I like Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is
If you
probably
if
one.
he's
Justin
if
Fields,
he's
I would
like,
put as one too, just in case
eh.
Nagy gets fired.
I like Lawrence because his playoff schedule is really nice.
Yeah,
If you even have to trade for Lawrence, he's probably on the waiver wire. So
yeah. Carson Wentz, I mean, not really buy low, but he's been picking up as of late. You can still probably get him for cheap, and he's actually been a pretty damn good fantasy quarterback this year, besides one game where he got below 20 points. So he's probably a good buy low candidate.
looks like my Wentz take might have been better than my Darnold take.
Dude, Darnold sucks. Darnold sucks.
Still love Sam Darnold. He's gonna light up the Falcons. 340 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown this week.
I think you should replace those 2 touchdowns with 2 picks.
I would probably throw a pick in there. What if they win the game?
Or 2.
I will take the turnovers for the picks. Still love Sam Darnold. He's a great guy. So.
Now, the real question is, for that Dynasty League, Michael Thomas for Sam Darnold.
We're also not talking about the first round pick I got out.
Well, I got a pick back too.
So.
And then I got a first rounder back for Cordell Patterson and Chris Carson. So.
Yeah.
We finessing. All right.
I guess.
No, but at the end of the day, I still think Darnold is terrible. I don't think he's a good quarterback at all. I'm glad I traded him when I did in my main league. I'm glad I traded him in the Dynasty League. He would be a sell low candidate for me. But yeah, as far as other,
I don't
really have a whole lot of buy lows right now because anybody who's supposed to be performing is performing. You know, sell high though. The biggest sell high I have right now is Jalen Hurts. Okay. He's been way overperforming for fantasy. He's been mediocre at best in real life. You can't keep doing this in the fourth quarter. Going into the fourth quarter, you're having 6 points and getting 27. It just doesn't happen.
I mean, he can as long as he's still a starting quarterback. The only issue is no guarantee. To me, it's hard to trade for quarterback in fantasy though, unless it's a super flex, like 2 QB league or super flex league. It's hard to trade for quarterbacks because they're still always good guys. I mean, Joe Burrow just got picked up on my waivers in my one league, just 1 QB league.
That's true. Yeah.
So like, Joe Burrow's like top 10 quarterback right now. So
yeah.
Even Daniel Jones is not a terrible fantasy quarterback, at least at the beginning of the year. I mean, you can get away with starting Daniel Jones some weeks where he's just going to rush for 80 yards and a touchdown.
Another I would say another sell high candidate I have is probably Cordell Patterson.
He's weird because like, what are you getting
weird.
for him?
He gets volume. I don't think he's going to be a bad running back throughout the rest of the year, but I think
he'll probably just be an RB2 the rest of the year.
High. What's that?
He'll probably just be an RB2 the rest of the year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can probably sell him right now as an RB1 just because of the fact that he's still like in the
maybe.
Top 5.
But like, I don't even know because they're just coming off a bye week and he had a mediocre game last week. So it's like,
yeah,
who's trading?
Touchdown though, so.
But like, who's trading for quarterbacks?
Like, I traded him. And I actually did trade for him in my other league because I basically had to. But I still think I won that.
I don't want him. But
But
yeah, if I had to say I sell high, I don't really have too many because I don't really like sell high, buy low. But like, if I had to pick a guy to sell high on, I mean, honestly, probably will be Damian Harris. As
yeah,
much I love,
I would say I
he's
agree.
had 2 good games this week, and I like Damian Harris as a player, and I think he'll be decent going down the road. But he's had great games this week. He'll probably have a pretty good game this week against the Chargers. We'll see that prediction later,
Yeah.
and then after that, like they have a pretty tough schedule, like Buffalo and a couple other tough like run defenses on it. Carolina, who's been a solid run defense.
Hmm. And I will
The
say,
thing, the thing with Damien Harris, though, he has a pretty solid line, so that makes up for it a lot of times. But that'd probably be a so high pick for me. I don't know. I don't really
I have
like.
one more buy low candidate, and it's probably the best buy low candidate in all of fantasy football right now. If you are not trying to buy low on Keenan Allen right now, you are stupid.
Can we ask why? Why?
Because
Why?
he has consistently been a top 10 fantasy wide receiver in the past, what, four years? And he's
Yeah, but
underperforming right now. And
he's not getting the
coming off the
targets.
bye, coming off the
I
bye
don't.
though, you got to expect as good of a wide receiver as Keenan Allen is, and as good of a quarterback as Justin Herbert is, he has got to pick it up. He
What
has
if he
got
doesn't?
to pick it up. If he doesn't, he
But what if he
doesn't. But
doesn't?
I think as far as a
Because
buy low,
here's the thing. Here's the thing that I hate about fantasy football players, right? They draft a guy. So Keenan Allen was a third, maybe fourth round pick at
third round
worst,
pick, I would
right?
say. Third round.
Probably a third to say safe. Okay. So a guy drafts him in the third round, and a lot of times people in your league, like, well, I used my third round pick. I'm not trading him for a guy that you drafted in the 8th round,
Well,
but
that person is Antonio Brown. He's been better than Keenan Allen this year.
or Debo Samuel,
Yeah,
or even Mike
yeah.
Williams, his own teammate. Like, but people like get this thing in their head. Like, it doesn't after the draft, it doesn't matter. It just matters about performance. But like, so I don't know what you're really giving up to get
I
Keenan Allen.
Here's my thing though.
I
Mike
don't
Williams
know.
has been injury prone in the past. Okay, so you have that. All right.
Sure.
Not to mention he's been really inconsistent in the past. He's had big games in the past, but then he's just kind of fizzled out. Who knows if those first 5 games or 6 games were just a fluke,
Fluky. I wouldn't say
fluky.
I wouldn't say
They're
fluky,
not
but like
fluky, but like
he's still gonna finish in the
he has
probably
to
top
finish. He has to
15.
finish in the top 15. There's no way he doesn't. All right.
Sure.
But like
Barring injury,
barring
obviously.
injury for sure. But I'm just saying, I still think Keenan Allen is a better wide receiver than Michael
Well,
Williams.
yeah,
I
that's a
still think
given.
that is true.
But if we're talking fantasy purpose, maybe
But
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
it's just I still think you can actually get him for a decent price right now. Like if you maybe bundle like like an RB3 or someone like that, and then a wide receiver 2 might be maybe or like a really good tight
Probably
end or
get more
something.
up.
Maybe you can get him for God, who knows?
I'd trade him for Waller. I mean, probably at this point. Trade
Yeah,
Waller. Waller's
yeah,
banged up, not getting the
yeah,
volume anymore. Hell of a trade I made in that one league, getting rid of Waller, by
yeah,
the way.
yeah.
But anyways, I guess
But
let's get into our
well, no. So I have something
real
else on
quick.
the screen for this schedule
Uh
here.
oh.
So,
Uh oh.
sorry, I didn't put that in the schedule, but I just realized I put it on this screen. But
Uh oh.
I thought it would be fun to do like some early award predictions as far as like MVP,
Oh,
defensive player of the year.
like, I mean, we're at the midway point, so I guess kind of the midway point, sort of.
Yeah, we're
Technically,
almost
week
at the
9.
midway point. But I would say let's start with the rookies as far as offensive and defensive rookie of the years. Uh,
Offensive, I'd say Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase has to be the
Only way
offensive
he
rookie of the year.
only way he doesn't win it is if and I think we were talking about this the other day. If Trevor Lawrence like absolutely balls out,
Yeah,
because they're going to give it to a quarterback over receiver. We
yeah.
saw Jefferson have the greatest greatest season a rookie's ever had last year, and he didn't win it. So, but I
Who
think
did win
Jamar
it last
Chase
year?
is Herbert.
Herbert, that's right. I mean,
Yeah,
Herbert
and then
Herbert did ball. So.
defensive is tough.
No, it's not.
Who are you picking?
Trayvon Diggs.
He's not a rookie.
He's not a rookie.
No.
I feel so stupid now. Is he a second-year player?
No. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's why I was gonna say probably like Parsons or Pat Surtain. I don't even know.
Probably one of those two. I would say. I mean, JOK probably up there.
Not with the injury. No, he doesn't have enough
True.
tackles either. I'd probably say Parsons or Surtain. I think if I'm probably blanking on someone like right now, so bad. But
Yeah, me too. But offense is just
I
really
don't know.
easy to tell right now, just because Jamar Chase caught 200.
And the quarterbacks haven't been playing particularly great. Trevor Lawrence is
They
getting
haven't been
better
playing
though.
good at all.
If there is a quarterback that'll win it, it'll be Lawrence.
Yeah, he needs to win some games though. I will say.
I wouldn't say. I mean, Herbert won like I don't even remember what
Herbert
they
won
won
his
last
last
year.
5 or 6 games last year in a row.
Yeah, he did. I think they went 7-9 last year.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But there's the rookies.
It's more about performance. Well, anyway,
Just
what do you
overall,
want?
like offensive player of the year though. Who you got so far?
Henry.
Derrick Henry's got to be in the conversation.
Yeah,
Defensive player of the year is probably Trayvon Diggs, just up to this point.
Diggs, and then I'd say Miles is
Yeah,
probably
it's
second.
between those two. Myles Garrett's up to 9.5 sacks now, I think, on the year, which is
Yeah.
absolutely incredible. But I mean,
Only reason I'm giving it to Diggs because his interception rate is
But
insane
I will
right now,
say
but
Diggs in coverage is very questionable. Okay, he's given up some
I don't know.
bombs. Okay,
they've only lost one game though, so
yeah. I mean, like I said, I think it's Diggs right now, just because of the amount of playmaking ability he has with the interceptions. But if he cools down on that, then I'd say if Miles keeps up the pace, he's got a really good shot.
yeah, it's probably
They
one of
also
those two
like
right now.
that. You know how MVP and offensive player of the year they like to give the quarterbacks. They really don't like to give
Right.
the corners for
No,
defensive player of the year. So
no, it's only been
it's
three.
only been
I think.
linemen really, linemen and linebackers.
I think it's only 3 corners that have ever won it all time.
One was Gilmore 2 years
right.
ago, right?
A few years. Yeah.
So I mean, I would say Miles has the edge obviously in that situation because he's a D end, and D end wins it a lot. Okay. And then we got the big one, who, as far as
Kyler.
MVP candidates,
I'm going Kyler Murray right now, and then I'd probably put. I think there's like 5-6 guys you could safely put in.
I would say so, dude. You got
Converse.
I would say my top 3 right now are Tom Brady, Kyler Murray. Dude, I don't know if I can pick fourth or third. I would say
Henry.
the fourth is between Dak and Aaron Rodgers. I would say the fourth is between those.
What about Josh Allen?
He lost to the Titans. He's 4-2.
It's not all about record though. Like
Yeah,
that's
but
the thing.
the other guys are putting up just as good as numbers as him, and they're
Here's the thing
5-1,
though.
6-1.
Most valuable player means how valuable are you to your team, right? Not.
I would say Aaron Rodgers is pretty damn valuable to his team.
Absolutely.
And I would say Tom Brady is pretty damn valuable to his
Aaron
team.
Rodgers is the lowest out of all those guys right now. Still had the week 1 stinker.
That's one game, and he's won 6 straight than that, and his average passer rating is over 100.
Still, he's still not ahead of Josh Allen. He's not ahead of Murray. Probably not ahead of Dak. Not ahead of.
I would put Murray.
What's the rationale?
I would put Murray and Brady above Rodgers, obviously.
Yeah,
I would put those two
Henry
at the top.
above him.
Those two are the front runners, but I'm saying Rodgers is above Josh Allen right now.
How?
He's played better.
How?
Since week 1, Rodgers' passer rating been averaged over 100. Okay. He's thrown, I think, 1 pick and over,
I don't know his numbers,
I think, like 15 touchdowns since week 1. How is that not playing good?
Josh Allen's blown out. Look at their point differential with Josh
They
Allen.
lost to Tennessee on primetime, dude. You can't do that.
It was
you can't do that.
Do you think
you can't do that.
why can't they do that on the road? Why can't they lose?
Because they were supposed to be the best team in the NFL. You can't lose to Tennessee.
No one said time out. No one said they're the best team in the NFL.
At that time, they were talked about as the best team in the NFL.
It's possible, and you could still put them in that conversation.
You could.
They could have easily won the Tennessee game. Like
they
it's not like it was.
Should have.
They easily could have won that game in the fourth quarter on the last drive. Just didn't happen.
That's what I'm saying, Bob.
So it's Rodgers is 6. He's below Dak. He's probably below Lamar. Lamar's putting up numbers. What are the odds?
Lamar and the Ravens have been the
odds.
luckiest team in the NFL this year. Okay, 3 of their wins, or maybe even 4, have come between 1 possession games, and they've gotten extremely lucky that the other team has fucked up so very badly. Look at the Colts game. They lose that game 3 times basically, and the most obvious one was their kicker missing the field goal in the last seconds of the fourth quarter.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers is He's below Herbert right now. Like,
no, stop, stop,
not
Bob,
according to the betting. According to the betting
stop.
odds, he's below Herbert. Betting
That
odds,
is
Herbert.
insane to me. That is insane to me.
He's below Herbert. He's below
There's
Dak. He's below
no
Brady.
way that Rodgers is not top 4 in the conversation right now.
Yeah, there's plenty of ways. Sure, there is.
I just don't agree with that.
He sucked in the Cincinnati game. He was not good in the Detroit game the first half. He was not very good in the. Was that the Aaron Jones game when Aaron Jones went off? Was that the Detroit game? I don't even remember. Like, that was all Aaron Jones. So he's got 3 games where it's just like Rodgers is like really no factor. There's a lot of other things carrying them to a win. It's Kyler Murray, it's Josh Allen, and it's Derrick Henry. Top 3 right there.
Derrick Henry is
No
up there.
questions
I would
there.
put him in the top 5.
He's on pace to rush for he's on pace to break the
I
NFL
agree.
rushing record.
And if he does that, then yeah, I would say he probably does win it, especially if
No,
Kyler
I
Murray slows
see his
down.
thing. I don't think he will. I don't because
I
Murray's
think
probably
it's such a stupid.
Murray and
like,
Allen are probably both going to throw for 50 touchdowns at least. So
yeah, I don't know, but sorry.
but yeah,
What? What? Yeah.
yeah, no. I guess I want to shift over to one non-football related World Series really quick.
Game 1 just happened last night, didn't it?
Yeah, what a game for the Braves. Charlie Morton broke his legs.
Came out and struck out 3 dudes.
Still came out, chucked some heat. I really hope the Braves win.
I do.
Fuck the Astros. I hate the Astros.
I
I
think
I might, as a Yankees fan, I think I hate the Astros more than the Red Sox.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
I mean, like I was rooting for Meteor Strike to happen, but I don't really care for the Dodgers, so I was happy the Braves beat them, and then we're rooting for the Braves. Braves guy, Jock, the Pearls, Max Fried on the bump tonight. I think they're playing. I think they just started actually. So
Probably, yeah.
hopefully they can go up 2-0. I'd
They
love a
start
sweep.
so late, man. Like, especially for how long baseball games go. Like, why don't they start at 7?
Yeah, I'd love a sweep. I would love a sweep in that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then in the NBA world, for you NBA guys, the Lakers look so bad. So bad.
1 and 2.
All of you bronze, they're 2-2. They won last night.
Okay.
All you bronze sexuals. LeBron hasn't even played the 2 games they won. He hasn't even played the 2 games that they won. He's already hurt. LeBron's already hurt. Ankle injury. Like ankle sprain. Which was plaguing him last year. AD is injury prone. Russell Westbrook looked fantastic last night. Sure, he looks fantastic when you're playing the Spurs, who are a bottom 5 team in the West. The Grizzlies are okay, but they had to eke out a 3-point win against the Grizzlies the other night. The Lakers look so bad. Devin Booker lit them up.
Oh yeah.
Lit them up. Yeah. The Lakers look so old, so bad. They're fighting on the sideline.
It's a shooting league.
No, they have no shooting. It's not even that like you need just a team full of shooters, but you at least need one or two. You need at least one or two. They don't. They're old. They look bad. I love Rondo, but Rondo is just not it anymore. Westbrook, all-time great, not it anymore. AD is a stud, but he's gonna get hurt. Yeah. And he's weak mentally. He's weak up here. Love AD, UK guy. They look bad. It's only been 4 games and they look bad. And they play. Now the funny thing is, I was looking at their schedule, and they have a cakewalk, so they're probably gonna win a decent amount of games here coming up because they have Thunder tonight. So they're gonna beat the Thunder tonight. Thunder are very bad right now. They have a bunch of 8th graders that they're waiting for. Then they have the Cavs Friday. Then they have the Rockets 2 nights in a row, and then they get the Thunder one more time. So they're probably gonna win they'll probably lose one of those games somewhere, right? Because that's bound to happen. But like maybe like that Rockets back-to-back. Rockets might beat them, but like they have a cakewalk schedule right now. I'm curious to see how they play against the Bucks. Heat they have Hornets coming up. The Bulls are looking so good right now. Celtics are 2-2. They're gonna have a tough stretch of games coming up here in November. Don't like it. Yeah. Cavs though, Evan Mobley looks like the rookie. I mean, like I said, it's only been 3-4 games, but Evan Mobley looks like the rookie of the year right now. So he looks so good. Lauri Markkanen looks good. The poster on Jokic the other night was sick. They had a big win over the Hawks the other day. Cavs, sneaky pick for the play-in game. I still think they're far away. A lot of big men. Sexton, I don't love. He's a hell of like a talent, but with the fit, it's kind of weird with him and Garland. I don't know. I think the Cavs are still a little ways away, but I think they got the coach.
Yeah.
They got a franchise big man with Mobley, and then they're pairing up with Allen, who's pretty great on defense.
Yeah.
It's been weird. They weren't starting like you're starting Markkinen over Okoro, so that's been kind of weird. But they got that late game tonight against the Clippers, so
Yeah.
maybe they're pulling out there.
I will say I don't like. I really don't pay attention a whole lot to the NBA, but
Right.
I have been following like the Lakers storylines recently, and
Yeah.
it's looked pretty damn awful.
It's hard, and like and granted, that's always how LeBron's teams have ever been
Yeah.
since he's been like
He
the
doesn't like
guy.
playing with rookies, that's for sure.
Just young guys. He hates playing with young guys for some reason. He booted out Lonzo. He booted out Kuzma.
Kyrie.
He booted out Ingram. I wouldn't say he necessarily booted out Kyrie. Like I think he wanted to play with Kyrie, but Kyrie's such a weird narcissist that
Yeah,
like
he's
he was like, oh, I'm better off with not playing with LeBron. I want to be my own man. And his Kyrie Celtics teams were kind of good, but like any team that LeBron's ever been on since he's been like the man, like going to Miami, coming back to Cleveland, and then now with the Lakers, are like just dumpster fires, like drama and junk. Somehow, some way, give him credit. He always ends up pulling it together, and they like will go on a little run. Obviously, he made the finals 8, 9 years in a row. But like when he's ever since he's been the Lakers, the one year they didn't have the bubble, they won with the bubble because they got healthy, right? And no one else wanted to be there. All the reports about like LeBron being a dick, trying to cancel the bubble and stuff, was no. I mean, no one wanted to be there. So his first year there, he gets hurt. They don't even make the playoffs. Second year, they win in the bubble. Last year, they were the 7th seed, had to win a play-in, and then got whooped by the Suns. I don't care what anyone says. AD healthy, AD not healthy. The Suns were winning that series. They're the better team. Devin Booker was lighting them up, giving them buckets. Chris Paul was killing them, giving them buckets. Lakers are a mess. The LeBron reign over the league is done at this point. I'm saying it right now. LeBron reigning over the league is done.
All right, so I kind of got to cut you off here. So we got to get into our starts of the week for
absolutely.
That was good. That was a good rant about LeBron sexuals.
Yeah. They're gonna get something from me almost every week. Yeah. As long as their storylines, they're getting something from me every week because of the amount of coverage Lakers get. But let's get into starts of the week.
You can go first with the QBs.
My quarterback, I already talked about him a few times. Wentz, got Carson Wentz. I expect a pretty good safe game out of Carson Wentz this week. Yeah. Who do you got?
Mine is actually coming off of a monstrous exposing of the mediocre Baltimore Ravens. Is Joe Burrow.
Yeah, they have the Jets.
He's going against the Jets. It's a pretty damn good team to play against. The only concern I have for Joe Burrow is that he's probably not even going to be in the second half because he's going to be up 45 points. So
I'm going to say that game script. I like the running backs more, and we'll see that later on. But I got Damian Harris this week, who I said should probably have a pretty good game. The Chargers defense has been getting lit up by the run. So, and that's been New England's specialty this year. I mean, Mac Jones has been okay, but Damian Harris last 2 games, I expect him to have a third game in a row. That's pretty solid.
Now, for me, mine's like a kind of a mix between 2 running backs for starts of the week because they're on the same team, and it's kind of like a weird situation. But Kenneth Gainwell for the Eagles. Going against the Lions, Miles Sanders, he could play, but who knows?
I don't think Sanders is playing this week. I think he might come back next week. But if you're starting Gainwell, I'm picking Gainwell over Scott.
Yeah, I would. It's between him and Boston Scott. I would say are 2 really good solid starts this week. You can start both of them probably in your flex spot if you have a bye week issue. No problem.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
But go ahead with your wide receiver.
Hey, got Chase Claypool
against the Brownies.
Yeah, he's there. I know, but I love Chase Claypool this week. It is. No one said he can't have a good fantasy week and Browns can't win though.
So mine is actually the guy who went up against the Browns last week is Courtland Sutton, going against the Washington mess.
Yeah, that defense is atrocious.
Washington mess.
That defense is atrocious. I like that pick.
Goddamn, like it's bad.
Should be probably gonna be a crappy, ugly game though.
I like Sutton's chances to catch a touchdown though.
I agree. I think he's due to bounce back. He's averaging, I think it's just under 16 points a game, but he's had like 3 games like over 23 points, and then he's had like 3 games like less than 8. So like he's very up and down, hit or miss. Tight end,
I don't know if he's planning to play this week or next week, but Jerry Jeudy's supposed to be coming back too.
Yeah, I think it's week 8 or week 9, or after week 8.
After this week, he becomes a sketchy play. But even if Judy's back this week, I still like Sutton just because he's been
Yeah.
established, and Judy needs to get like.
I think
momentum, so.
I think it's safe to say, like, if Sutton's your wide receiver too, especially if he's a flex, like
He's
the rest
fine.
of the year,
He's
I don't
fine.
think you're feeling bad about
Yeah.
it. Tight end, I got Pitts. He's a monster.
He's
Don't
a
care what
monster.
anyone says. Kyle Pitts is a beast. He's defeating the rookie tight end narrative, and he's got the chance to be the greatest tight end of all time. I'm not saying he's going to be. He has a
That's
chance
a
to be.
big claim there, Bob.
He has a
Big
chance
claim.
to be the greatest tight end of all time. He had
He's played 7 games, 6
if
games.
it wasn't for Jamar Chase yesterday or last week with like 200 yards, I think Kyle Pitts has the second highest receiving yards in a game by rookie,
Yeah.
like of all time. Jamar Chase is one because he had like 200 yards last week. But let's get into
Mine is actually Tyler Higbee of the Rams going against Houston. You play people against Houston. That's just how it works. I mean, they're a pretty bad team.
I like all the Rams,
works.
but at the same time, you also got to be concerned for like another Cardinals like game script where Houston only puts up 5 points. Tyrod Taylor's supposed to be back though, so that might make it interesting. Because Tyrod doesn't turn the ball over.
Tyrod's not too bad as a quarterback, to be honest with you.
He makes you know what he reminds me of is like Baker, he doesn't have as good as an arm as Baker, but he's more mobile. It's a weird comparison, I know, because they're different quarterbacks, but like they're very
pretty better than Tyrod Taylor.
Really?
Yeah, I would say so.
How?
I would say he's
Tyrod
better by a couple degrees.
Tyrod Taylor probably beats him this year if he doesn't get hurt. But that's besides the point.
Okay, well,
sleepers, absolutely. Sleepers, I have Samaje Perine from the Bengals. We were talking about that game script for that game. Perine has been averaging.
He might be into the fourth quarter a lot, that's for sure.
He had 14 points last week on 12 touches. He might even see a little bit more than that this week in a blowout. I like Perine as a good flex play. And then I also have T. Higgins, though. I like T. Higgins to bounce back. I know all the love has been on Jamar Chase.
Sleepers, huh?
I do like the Bengals. And I wouldn't even know if I'd call T. Higgins a sleeper because you're probably starting T. Higgins if you have him, more than likely. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I like T. Higgins. Yeah, but like T. Higgins, I could see T. Higgins potentially having a top 5 week. So you know what I mean? Like I don't think that's out of the range of outcomes. I'm not saying he's gonna have a top 5 week. I think he's a safe play. Like if T. Higgins had 35 points and you came in on Tuesday next week and said, "Wow, T. Higgins had 35 points," I wouldn't be shocked.
So my sleepers, my first one is Robbie Anderson. I think it's in his last couple of games. I think his last 2 games. You only heard one stat. He has 25 targets. And he has 25 yards. I mean, eventually this volume that he's getting has to turn into something. Okay.
Yeah.
So I like Robbie Anderson to have not like a huge week. Okay. I would say if he catches a touchdown, this is a successful pick. I would say.
Even if he has 6 catches for 80 yards, that's a successful.
Darnold has been so bad. Okay. These last couple weeks, they get a little bit of a favorable matchup this week.
3 weeks, Darnold's because he played good. Yeah, 3 weeks Darnold's been pretty bad. Yeah. And Atlanta's a good matchup to bounce back. That's why I'm like.
And I like Robbie Anderson's chances to get over the top. I like a big play happening this week. He might get 11 targets for 9 yards this week. Who the hell knows? But I mean, I like a little Robbie Anderson.
I wouldn't call it a crazy play. And I guess yeah, I don't mind that. And who was your other pick?
So the other one I actually have is Michael Carter against the Bengals. So if you look, I mean, the Jets got murdered last week against the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
Michael Carter had like 16 fantasy points. He's becoming an emerging PPR option. Like he's gotten, I think, 10 plus in the last couple weeks.
Yeah, it's a gross offense.
You don't really want to have to start Michael Carter if you want to, but he's
I wouldn't. I mean, the only guy I'd say is like viable is probably Corey Davis, but I like him more as a flex. And then Michael Carter too. It's gross. If you don't have to start Michael Carter,
as far as yards per carry, like you don't want to.
But he's probably the pass catching back there.
Yeah, he is. I think he got like 9 targets last game or something stupid.
Backup quarterback, probably a lot of dump offs too. So I don't hate that pick. I don't hate that pick.
So probably one of our fan favorites from last week, the DFS lineups. So we should first go over the results from last week. It was actually pretty close. Coming in with 134 points was Mr. Del Tordo.
I will say
And
I got
then
screwed. Got
then I
screwed
eked
by
out the win with
Amano.
140 points. Okay, so I got the 6-point win. We got to figure out something to do for like the loser or something. That'd be kind of fun.
I got screwed by Amano. He didn't even have a target. I don't even know he played.
I told you like during last week's show, I was like, "Why the hell are you picking Amon-Ra St. Brown?"
It was a punt, and I should have
It
went
was a
Raymond
punt.
because Raymond would have won me the week. Instead, I was going for a Detroit receiver for some reason because they were cheap, but it is what it is. CJ Uzama was a smash pick. Henry was not worth the pay last week, but nine times
I
out of
did
10
have
pick
the
Henry worth it.
Tannehill and AJ Brown stack last week too, which helped a lot.
Jalen Hurts was nice, and Hopkins did okay.
Yeah.
The minor really killed me. My two running backs weren't great.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to bounce back this week. I'm going to dive into my lineup first. I have Wentz at quarterback.
Okay. All right.
Also QB start of the week. I got him because he's at 5,700 against.
I think I'll do you. I think I'll do you one up on that. So at 5,500 against the atrocious Seattle defense, I have Trevor Lawrence in my lineup.
Oh, I like that a lot. I got Wentz at 57 against Tennessee. Then I also have my other running back start of the week, Damian Harris at 6,100 against the Chargers. I mean, if Harris runs for 100 yards a touchdown, that's a win in my books.
Yeah.
And then my other running back too. I'll go to my RB2 real quick. I have DeAndre Swift for 1,000 more at 7,100.
I like Swift. Yeah. So my two running backs. My first one is my start of the week. Well, one of my start of the week. I would put Kenneth Gainwell. He's only at 5,000 this week. Pretty cheap steal.
That's
right
a good price.
Yeah.
I like that price a lot.
Then my other one, I painfully have Najee Harris against the Browns at 7,500. I paid up a little bit to get him, but at the same time, it's probably gonna be a positive game script for him as far as like pass catching abilities. So I like Najee Harris as my running back too.
Don't hate it. So my receivers, I have Cole Beasley as my receiver one at 4,900. Like the price, like the matchup. My receiver two, my last guy in the start of the weeks, I promise. Claypool at 6,300. I really like him against the Browns this week for some odd reason. I don't know. I like Chase Claypool. Hate the Steelers. I like Chase Claypool. And then my other receiver is my stack with Wentz. I got Pittman at 5,300. Generally, I like this. We've kind of talked about this in the past. We like to stack guys in our DK line, especially if you're doing tournaments and stuff.
Yeah.
But
I do not have a stack this week, I will say, with Trevor Lawrence. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't blame you. Don't blame you.
I just don't do that at all. But for my wide receivers, I have at 7,000, I have Mike Evans going against New Orleans. I think that without AB, because he is doubtful again this week, unfortunately, which sucks. I think without AB at 7,000, he's actually a pretty good price.
Yeah. Him and Godwin. Godwin's a little bit cheaper. Can't go wrong with either one.
And then for my wide receiver two, I have DK Metcalf at 6,800 against Jacksonville. I think it's pretty safe to say that Geno might actually have a chance to do something against Jacksonville.
The only thing I wouldn't be here's the thing, I wouldn't be worried about DK. I'd just be worried about Geno Smith. Getting the ball, and God knows when Russ is coming back. But
and then my third wide receiver, I do have my start of the week. I have Cortland Sutton against the Washington football team. 6,400, pretty good price if you ask me. So yeah, if you want to give me your tight end.
Okay. My tight end, same as last week. He's still cheap. I got Uzama, 3,700.
I'll stop you right there. I have him too, 3,700.
Yeah, he was my smash pick last week. Crushed for us. He 8x'd his value.
That's pretty crazy.
I'm not expecting him to do that again. But if he has,
if he gets 10 points, I'm happy.
Absolutely, we're punting tight end here. Same thing with defense. I went with the Falcons. As much as I hate to bet against Sam Darnold, he's been a turnover machine last 3 weeks.
Flex?
Oh, I'm sorry. I have Eckler at flex.
Eckler at flex. What's his price?
79.
Okay. My flex is actually Michael Pittman at 5,300. I think he's very, very cheap.
Yeah, I like that price on Pittman. But yeah, I was able to squeeze Eckler in there because I went cheap at tight end, and Beasley at 4,900 helped me out.
Yeah.
And then, but my defense, I went with the Falcons as much as I hate it, and I'm predicting a Sam Darnold to kill him game. Next thing you know, he throws 2 picks. The Falcons get pick
I'm actually going with the Patriots against the Chargers. I think coming off the bye, the Chargers might get a little lazy.
Interesting.
I think the Patriots defense has been rock solid this year. Coming off a big performance against the lowly Jets. But
that was the only issue.
I went a little bit of value, so that's kind of why I did it too.
New England, that defense has honestly been kind of disappointing in my opinion.
Really?
Dallas game they got lit up. Saints game they got Saints game they got lit up. Even Texans lit them up. They were up like 22-3.
Yeah.
They somehow, I mean, Texans were the Texans lost the game, but like
The other thing I
I
like
don't
about
hate.
it too, though,
I
is
what was their price though? What was their price?
2,800. I mean, it wasn't
Oh
too
really?
bad.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's not killing you, but I'm surprised they're even that much. I figure they're gonna be lower just playing the Chargers.
Uh,
Chargers, I like the Chargers coming off a bye
yeah.
personally, but
But
I can understand the
I like the
rationale
Chargers
with
to win the game. I just like the chances of a
I
couple
like
turnovers, maybe,
Belichick.
something like
Belichick
that.
against young quarterbacks is always a pretty good
Exactly. That's
bet.
the other thing too. Guys, young quarterbacks. Granted, Justin
As good
Herbert is
as
pretty freaking good,
is
but
fun. He's
yeah,
phenomenal, but yeah, I agree. I don't hate that pick.
yeah,
It could bite you in the. I mean, it
it
could bite
could.
you in the butt and then
But
get
it's my
for
defense,
40,
so
but
I don't think it's gonna matter that
absolutely.
much.
No, I don't think it's gonna hurt you
Yeah.
because although our defenses last week did they did come through.
Mhm.
We both went with the Giants.
Mhm.
But what was your total for the
I
week?
was at the cap, so
You were 50. I was
50,000.
one. I was 49,900. So I was
Oh,
right
okay.
there.
So yeah.
Yeah,
But
just
yeah,
under.
I think that's probably gonna wrap us up. I will like to say one thing before we leave. Thank you to our brand new sponsor of the show,
Yeah.
Portage Tent Rentals, and
Yeah,
Mr. Tom Bartz.
shout
You
out to
can
Tom
go to
Bartz.
portagetents.com for all your tenting rental
Tent
needs.
party event needs.
Yeah.
I guess what also real quick at the end here, we're gonna start adding guests to our shows. We'll probably start off with
Yeah.
some close friends of ours who want to talk sports with us. Get some segments on there, get them rolling. Hopefully, get some good debate and good talk on here. If
Yep.
anyone's interested to come join us, DM the Instagram, DM me or Travis, text us, Snapchat,
And you can see our socials down in here. Follow all three of them.
Twitter.
Subscribe to the
Yeah,
YouTube channel.
follow them.
So
We're gonna start posting a lot more now that we're gonna get this going.
yeah.
So yeah, if anybody's interested, just come BS sports with us. Talk fantasy, talk basketball, talk football, talk baseball,
Mhm.
talk about whatever, man. We love golf with all sorts of stuff we could talk about.
Mhm.
So let us know. Next week we're gonna have our friend Garrett on. Garrett's big diehard Browns guy, so don't miss that.
Then the week after that, we have actually a D1 athlete
Yeah, we
coming on
do.
the
Good
show
friend of ours from high
potentially.
school too, Tyler. But we're gonna drill Garrett on some big Browns questions. Get him answer, make him answer the questions that he doesn't want to.
I
So
think me and Garrett might drill Bob. So we're gonna see.
it's very possible. Very possible. We'll
I
have to
might.
see.
Yeah.
See next week.
But
But
yeah, it was a good week, good show. Thanks you for watching. Drop a like and subscribe, and I think we're gonna head out. So.